Well, a 16-11 scoreline on Cobblestone left Ghost Gaming over Team Rogue in the first map of this best of 3, but now we will move on to Overpass, where things could go quite differently. Boys, are we feeling a little bit that way, or are we feeling like, you know what, Ghost is just gonna run away with this one?
Well, Hiko's got a hole with an ace in it, so...
What? A hole? A sleeve?
That's what he said about Overpass, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't think anybody knows exactly what he's got in store for us.
And hold on, let me remind you all, because you know what, I forgot my due diligence. We're at the Microsoft Store in New York City. That's right, the flagship one at that. The Mixer NY Studio, to be more exact. And man, these beautiful human beings to my right, they argue off the segment and they talk about girlfriends and stuff. I don't know. I don't get anything to do with all that. But more importantly, we could talk about Ghost and Rogue.
You can talk about boyfriends too, Trace.
Nah, I don't play that game.
I'm actually worried about this next upcoming game of Counter-Strike.
Oh, that's what we're doing here.
Yeah, it's just, you know, the whole ace up the sleeve kind of idea that you come in with like kind of a clever map pick that someone's not expecting. I feel like it doesn't always work out the way you really want it to. Because oftentimes you're kind of cramming the night before. It's like when you cram for that test, like you have like 2 hours and you just do everything. You try and like kind of cover everything just at surface value just to get enough for like the multiple choice questions. And you usually end up, you know, failing that test or getting it maybe like a C plus.
Strong 45%.
Yeah.
C's get degrees, Jason. But not in Counter-Strike, because it actually takes 16 rounds, and I don't think that qualifies
mentality
for a C.
from our service member.
Hey, C's get degrees, and only the best, but anything will do. You heard it first here. Nonetheless, though, Overpass, I mean, we talk about the first map. We can reflect on maybe the mindset that, you know, maybe they're a little gassed from that. I mean, there were glimpses of what could have potentially turned the tide of the whole map, i.e. the Cadian moment. That could have ignited some sort of spark and brought the map back. But ultimately, that didn't happen, and now we go into Overpass.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be a pretty difficult map as well, because you can get really disorganized as a team on this map if you're not experienced playing it, just because, you know, you have to be aggressive on the defense, but you have to do it in a way that allows you to like fall back safely. Like you can't just sit back in the bomb sites, right? Because you give up all the map control on Overpass. So I think that's very, very difficult concept to learn. Even a lot of the pro teams struggle with it that put time into this map. It's just going to be a very interesting dynamic to see. And once again, I think it's going to just be, I think the part that might make that a cool map would be if, because they don't have that nailed down, everyone just goes like super hyper aggressive. Which would be a lot of fun, just goes right at each other.
I mean, everybody likes a good frag video.
Yeah, I love them.
A good frag video.
Crank the Lincoln Park.
It's the end of an era. Frag videos are no longer popular.
Not a popular opinion. Frag videos are everything. In fact, I think if you look back at some of Jason's frag videos from the year 1967 when he played Counter-Strike 1 point whatever.
It's the Citizen Kane of
before we knew
movies.
what color Jason was.
Look, Rogue's map pick.
Black and white. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Rogue's map pick.
Thanks.
Yes, black and white. That's actually what it was. It wasn't colorblind mode. It was straight up.
Yeah. The whole world was black and white back then.
That's what I was told. Yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see it for myself. But I'm going to have to take your word for it, Jason. As the oldest man in the building, actually, is a fun fact for you guys. Moving forward, again, this is Rogue's map pick. Now they've said, hey, we got a card up our sleeve.
It's an ace.
It's an ace. Something real sketchy, dodgy about that hole.
They revealed too much.
That was Hiko, by the way.
Yeah, I don't actually know Ghost on this map at all. If they've put any time into it or anything like that, we obviously didn't get a chance to talk to them. But I mean that's what they're kind of gambling on, right? That they've like prepared some creativity that Ghost isn't going to know how to react or how to respond to, and all that might not matter if they just get completely destroyed at an individual level.
I think you're talking about something that I think is really true, like the whole secret strat or like saving thing that doesn't really work that well.
Unless it's
like when everybody was like holding on to nuke before anyone prepared for it, and then they played nuke versus a team that had no preparation, and then they lose anyway.
Yeah,
I think it was Optic at the minor Optic with Stannis like a long time ago. They had to play the finals versus on nuke, and they had never played the map before. It was the one where Naf and Rush got into that argument that everyone heard on the comms.
Oh yeah.
They had no idea how to play nuke, and they just won just because it was such a new map. Well, that can happen to you when you try to prepare secret strats that you haven't actually tried in a tournament versus real teams.
And there's a difference between secret strats or doing something gimmicky, one-offing, like a boost over here, this, there, or the other. Perhaps they did get to go to the drawing board, and perhaps they did get to put something together. Either way, let's take a look at the Betway odds and see how you, the viewer, the bettor at home, are looking into this one. And the disparity is not too significant, I suppose.
Not the worst thing I've ever seen in the world. I'd say I guess that's pretty fair, especially based off how the first map went.
Yeah.
I'm not too much against.
It's like
that.
the most reasonable second map prediction that we've seen. I think.
Check it out. I got to give it to the casters real quick, but who do you guys have?
Ghost.
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 Whoa,
there
traitor.
it is. All right. Betting against the rogue gentlemen themselves would be both my esteemed colleagues here. Nonetheless, our commentators are waiting idly by, ready to bring you all the action. Go ahead and take it away, fellas.
Thank you very much, Stunna. And it's time to jump into the action once again as Ghost and Rogue will be taking each other on here on Overpass, potentially in Ghost's case, to decide if they get to stay in the ESL Pro League and kick Rogue out while they're at it.
Yeah, now we're going to be going on to Rogue's map choice of Overpass. And I was actually speaking with Ghost Gaming, and they actually said they had a couple things up their sleeve they wanted to pull out here that they were preparing on Overpass 4. So this is going to be a very exciting match ahead of us right now.
Definitely, of course, and with the performance that we were seeing from Ghost in the last map, they're going to be feeling good coming into this one, specifically when we look at the performances of players like Wardell, obviously excusing the one round, along with Dallas and B, who seem to be very, very good at both holding and entering from on the respective T and CT sides. But we are live now, guys, and Ghost are going to be on the CT side first. That plays even better into their favor, of course, with this being a CT-sided map as it is. And for Rogue, well, we have to hope that the safes up their sleeve is going to be worth something, as if not, they will lose this series and have to go on to play Rise if they still want to keep their Pro League slot. Right off the bat, too, we jump into some combat. Dallas is going to end up losing 80 of his HP in trying to hold back the Rogue roster, pushing out from the tunnels. They succeed in pushing them back further into the tunnels and towards T-spawn, but obviously the loss of 80 HP off of Dallas is definitely not going to be the best case scenario here, especially now that we see Rogue very quickly wrapping over towards the B site. And that B site looks pretty open. I think it's only Connor defending it. We've seen this happen before, too.
Yeah, Rogue opting for that full retake scenario here, and it's going to be very interesting. Or, sorry, Ghost Gaming opting for it, and it's going to be very interesting because Rogue is now set up in that post plant. Look at where Hiko is. 2 players in the pit right now, even 3. No, 2 players in the pit, 1 on the short pipe.
One of the players inside of the pit's already been dealt with here now, as we see Hiko and the others just trying to hold on the outside. Pop flash around the corner doesn't blind Hiko that much, though, so he's going to be holding on. The crossfire doing a lot of damage, but so are the CTs. Wardell and Connor working together in order to keep this alive, but Connor does not survive the salvo. It's just going to be Wardell keeping it going here. Jumps onto the bomb. No, he jumped off it. He would have had it if he stuck it, and he's not reading it to construction. Low on time now, too. This will be the stick. As he jumps onto it, he restuck it, too, as the sad party got it, but now, does he have enough time? No, he doesn't. So he backs off, and that is going to be Rogue taking control of the pistol and shooting ahead 1-0.
Yeah, and that was a great job from Rogue. They pushed out towards that A side very early. You saw that fountain peak where they got the instant goosh onto the CT. Then they pushed around, make that long A presence, and instantly fall back to B, create that B hit, and get into those great post-plant scenarios in the B pit. Unfortunately for them, or unfortunately for Ghost Gaming, they opted to play the retake on B, and it just took a little bit too long to get it going.
As you guys saw in game there for a second, it looks like one player from Rogue disconnected, so we'll just get him back into the game really quickly. I'm sure we're just restarting the PC or something like that. Should be a relatively quick fix for us to get back into the game and continue this with Rogue, and now off to the hot start, but obviously we will look to see the aggressive response from Ghost here in the second round. Already a Scout and CZ armor buy from 2 of them, so I think they're going to be going all in here in an attempt to upset, especially when you consider just how close they got to winning that pistol. We're all too a lot to be expected from both of these teams. Rogue came very close to taking that previous map back on Cobblestone themselves. Some great rounds from them, some amazing clutches too, but sadly at the very end of that last map they really seemed to lose the plot. And we saw a lot of haphazardly put together executes that Ghosts were able to easily just tear apart round after round again. And for Ghost's sake, we have to hope that they don't fall into a similar pattern here, as the sides coming off the last map and into the second have remained the same.
Ghosts have a very good opportunity here. I really like the force buys on a map like Overpass, especially if you're able to delay the counter-terrorists to the point where they're pushing into those tight angles on B and on the A site. The CZs can really come to life.
Canadian's going to start it off, though, with a clean first kill. Wraps around, takes the water control. Opens up a bit of a path for the lower tunnel players to push, too, but there's still a bit of resistance from the CT's. Dallas trying to navigate that fire, and credit to him, he gets a kill while inside of it, at least. But the flames still end up burning him out at the end of the day. And that smoke from Shinobi is definitely not going to cover off the steps. So B's still able to peek from inside, knocking out another one of the members of Rogue, as this goes down to a 3v3 now.
This is a great job from Rogue here. They haven't really overextended towards that B site. They figure that there's probably another CZ waiting around, and there isn't Connor in the pit. So you do see Rogue right now taking their time, clearing out this site, making sure that they're not going to get caught off guard here.
Connor caught at the wrong time, though, so Hiko's going to be able to take him out. Looks like Wardell tagged one with the scout, and now look at this coming up like a speed racer. It's going to be B from the backside, moving in, taking down Vice, tying us up. But Cadian's about to do the same thing if they're not careful. However, B's moved in. He's got one. Now he's just got to catch Cadian coming in through the monster tunnel. He's checking this direction.
Oh, wow.
And he takes him down. B, beautifully done. Pulls off essentially an outright 1v3 from inside of the B site and steals the round on his own regard, ending up with a massive 4K.
Yeah, and that was crazy. Cadian was at that short B. Actually, he had a good view of that short pipe. Unfortunately, he was looking the other way. While he was looking the other way, you saw B run across like it was a horror movie. He moves across on Cadian's screen. Cadian looks back over. He's not able to catch B. Crossing, B pulls out into that monster area, picking up 3 frags and finishing the round with a 4K to get Ghost on the board here.
So Rogue have to do a bit of a scavenger buy. A couple tossed weapons being thrown around across the team here. And Uber still buying, actually. Once the team has already completely left spawn, he just had that little bit of a light force up, and Hiko's not going to buy anything. He actually gets donated a weapon. But Rogue won't waste any time besides that. They're going to quickly move in and take long control, or at least a little bit of it they can easily take for free. And start just a slow crawl towards the A site here. But they will keep their options open. We still have Vice lurking out towards Monster, and the bomb with one other player is going to be on top of the tunnels.
And I really like this from the Rogue side here. Just trying to get that bathroom control early on. And this is very crucial to the late round because now they're able to drift around that connector area, move towards that middle without having any worries. And just as I say that, Wardell starts the round off with a great pick on Hiko at long A.
Finding one, but the big issue is going to be over here towards long, as that seems to be where the majority of the execute's going to be coming from. And I think it's safe to confirm that this will be the case since Vice is also rotating over. Utility now being deployed to give them a little bit more free room to push towards, but it's only going to serve to make the play a bit more obvious. The only good news is that Ghost haven't been too adventurous on the B site, so they're not checking in, but off the minimal intel that they have, it's been enough to call for a few rotates here. We've already got 3 sitting in the A site, and in a moment more are going to be moving in. Uber, though, greatly positioned Molotov by one of his teammates, knocks him out of position. Dallas spamming in, gets 2, traded back almost instantly. Woodall coming very close to trying to wallbang his opponent through the dice box, but hasn't been able to hit it yet.
And unfortunately for Ghost Gaming here, all 4 players are retaking from CT, so this could actually favor Rogue if Ghosts do not take their time in clearing out every angle.
They are backing up, though, so that is going to give Ghost the room they need to get out of this site and start looking for the retake. Uber still has long control. Cadian's being a massive distraction right now, too. He's already picked up 2 kills from the other side, and they're low on time. Finally dealing with one of them. They pushed Uber out of the round, starting the defuse, and Seb knocks out Cadian. This is actually a close defuse, but I believe they've got it, and that is going to be Ghost going up 2-1 now, as they just barely managed to pull off that 4v2 retake.
Now sending Rogue onto that force buy or eco round. I do believe Rogue will opt now for that eco, just because their money's decently high. They can get right back into this. No, they go for the force here, so this is actually going to be a lack of utility showing up for Rogue now because of that force. If you look at their inventories here, we see the AKs on the field, but only 2 nade sets across 5 people.
Rogue is going to be moving in towards that B site quickly. Oh man, they used the smoke to get rid of the molly, yes, but their own molly is a massive failure, and they're just getting ripped apart. Seb just slightly overextending his welcome on the peek out from Toxic there. He's going to get traded, but the rest of the team pretty much already been dealt with there. And Seb's going to be their only loss for this round after he kills 2 players. Ghost shut it down after that, and now lead 3-1. And Rogue still have 1 more eco to get through before they can buy again.
Yeah, so we'll see Ghost Gaming now take a 3-round lead away from Rogue here, and this is where it could get very scary as we see Rogue now struggling almost to get these frags. These last few rounds have been total domination out of the Ghost Gaming side with the exception of pistol round.
So P250s for Rogue this time. Very little utility too. Vice is able to buy it, but that's it. Connor's already seen, I'm sure, a few of these guys crossing into playground, so we're going to call for the assistance at A-Long here. They've got the potential to pinch this before Rogue get really any map control whatsoever. They can even get past Fountain without having to deal with a fight here, so Ghost are going for the kill shot early, and the kill shot they will find. 3-1 trade, now 4-1. Completely destroys the team, only Vice left.
Now, Vice is maybe able to pick up 1-2 kills. This does make it a little bit better for Rogue here on this eco round, as they are going to be able to do some economical damage to the Ghost Gaming economy. And for that to happen, though, I mean, Vice is going to probably have to get to a rifle, the one that Connor dropped. But by that time, no way he's going to be able to get past B.
Vice continuing to sneak forward here, too. Got the flash, might as well
he
use
gets
it.
him.
There we go. There's the pop on the B. Blinds him, gets that kill. He's going to get planked pretty quickly by Wardell as soon as he goes around the corner. But again, at least that gets that one extra kill. He's going to keep the money low on the CT side.
Nice little fancy kill from Vice.
Yeah. Makes good of what was pretty much a situation where he was doomed to die anyway, so adding something to it. When are we gonna see? Someone was jumping in spawn. I thought we were about to see the
Olaf.
the Olaf boost for a second there.
Well, they do actually have a boost on this map, Ghost Gaming do.
I heard
they
you
found
talking
out.
about
Yeah,
that,
so
yeah.
it's gonna be interesting to see the boost later.
They didn't tell you where it was, did they?
I didn't want them to. They were
No?
they wanted to show me it, or tell me it, but I just want them to surprise me.
It looked like they were trying to set something up there. So that would be a pretty big deal if they found out how to do that again. But Rogue, for now, are just going to sit on the gates of B, getting ready to go for a straightforward execute here. Everybody else on Ghost. They do have a 3-man commitment here. One's going to be in Heaven, though, so he can kind of do limited support until Rogue fully commit. We've already seen them handle these straightforward executes from Rogue, but this is when Rogue was on primarily pistols and had only a tidbit of utility. So with AKs in hand, it's going to be a different ballgame. They peek out. They see nothing in Monster, though, so this could actually be dangerous. They might get a false sense of security. All right, or not. Seb walks right through and kills Vice. Now they know they're coming in for construction, but it's still only 1 kill, now 2 for the T's as they even the fight back up, and Connor also falls down below the tracks.
That was a great execute from Rogue, bursting up that short, taking the wrap around pit instead of going directly into sight. Nice little alternation on a standard B execute to get them the round here.
Good patience from Cadian, manages to knock out B, and Wardell knows he doesn't have a hope in the world. He's already falling back, calling for the save. So a clean B execute from Rogue after a few bumps on the way in. Gets them control of the B site and control of a second round finally.
It'll be very interesting to see now. Look at the money on the Rogue side. After winning this round, they're still going to have to drop 2 guns to Hiko and Vice. Their money's not going to be boosted too well. Yeah, they've hit that second round. Yeah, they're going to be able to buy up. But if they do not win this round and Ghosts are able to mount their 5th round on the board here, well, this is a very early lead that Ghost Gaming may have the opportunity to run away with as Rogue go back onto an eco.
Yeah, so very important gun round for both teams coming up now, with Rogue at least still at relatively full strength. You got the Galil in there messing things up a little bit, but it's only 1, so we won't spend too much time on that. And Ghost had the same thing to deal with too. So that's what he was lining up there. Trying to hit the timing on the wall bang. Not going to find it, though. Rest of Rogue are going to quickly push out onto the B site, and that's going to be called out.
Wow.
Rotations on the way. The thing is, Seb's alone here. You know, Connor's there in the site, but he's in a completely different part of it, so there's no way there's an easy trade. Oh, look at this, too. Katie coming in, knocks out both of those guys trying to quickly lurk in from the construction side of the site, leaving only the 2 A players, which have now rotated in to try and pull off the 2v3. They've got smokes in their way. T's are hunkered down in positions here now. Good flash.
Okay.
Blinds out Shinobi, gets them the clean kill there. And also a great lineup from Connor. Knocks out Uber, too. Rogue have definitely overplayed their hand here.
Good molly from Wardell as well now onto that short B, and that's going to keep Katie in that B. Nobody's tapped the bomb yet, though.
And there we go.
Katie's not even going
to go for it. He's like, yeah, I lost this one.
He actually had an opportunity there because the bomb wasn't tapped. Unfortunately, not going for it. Oof. I feel like Katie may have actually had a chance to win that round if he did make the attempt. Unfortunately, not going for it. Gives Ghost their 5th round. And now look at the money on Rogue here.
I thought he would at least try to poke back in to see what exactly the site looked like, but yeah, decides not to go for it. And you can't really fault him for that when you consider how delicate the money is. Yeah, well, at least with the save, the
Molotov came down, so in his head, he was going to assume, yeah, as soon as the Molotov comes down, they're going to jump on bomb. It was just our luck that we got to see them not touching bomb, and that's really what made me say, oh, Cadian could have won the round. But as far as he was concerned, that Molotov was down, and they were defusing it.
And as well, at least with saving this AK, he's able to carry through, buy another op for himself, and make sure the team is at full strength for this upcoming round, as they have one more chance to try and stop Ghost
here.
from running away. Yeah, it's a nice little one inside a playground.
Well, they're leaving their entire side open to the long A. That's a very questionable boost there to look for the playground pick. Very interesting choice there from Rogue. Yeah.
Dealing with a lot of pressure from playground, however, especially in the last like 2 to 3 rounds. This time though, it's completely gone away, and all that pressure is going to be focused on the connector and bathroom areas instead. Oh, we're going to see a fight from here. Uber moving in, doesn't check the stairwell. He's not the one directly above him. So B, it's a nice clean kill. Didn't even have to use the second player inside of the connector either. Now this does mean that those long players are going to start cutting down, looking for an easier way to try and pick up at least a few kills. Cadian finds one from Party, and now we'll look for the second player inside, as that was a different player, not the one that got the kill against Uber earlier. So Cadian should know off of that there's a second guy inside.
Look at this round right here. Now we see the bomb actually moved all the way up to bathroom. V came in for the flank onto Vice, but he heard him. And now all of Ghost thinks it's actually a B hit as the bomb is going down in A. This was a great job from Rogue, taking over that long control, moving through the bathroom, and then essentially avoiding or getting spotted by a Ghost.
Dallas is going to be able to see this now, though. With the 2 kills they just got, well, that's going to be trouble for Rogue, as now they're dealing with a 3v2.
Oh no, he saw him.
Saw him, but he'll play the safe game. He'll just smoke it back off the other way. The B players are taking so long to rotate back up, though. They're finally here. They've got semi-control. That's good. The site was left open, and as they move in, okay, hi, Cadian. Is he just going to get run over by Connor? Didn't hear them coming for some reason. Hiko now left alone to deal with the 1v3. They've stuck the defuse. He jumps off it now, and whoa, it's a good thing that Dallas gets in there and gets the kill as quickly as he does, because Hiko had the lineup, and he had the spray control to deal with that. But Dallas does him one better. Takes him down. Ghost will still maintain control as they continue to push ahead with a 4-round lead. Yeah,
and a very costly round, though, for Ghost there, as they lose 4 people in that scenario. This was lovely from Hiko. Great attempt in this 1v3 to win this round for his team. Unfortunately, Dallas, they're coming in, saving the day for Ghost Gaming.
And Rogue, it's back to Eco Town for them. Only a deagle on Hiko. Couple CZs across the rest of the team. Wardell already legging one of them, but didn't realize that Shinobi got as close as he did. Shinobi almost dinking B. B's got to fall back. He's got to give up that op. Oh, and he's also going to have to give up his ump now, too. He's been run over. Good damage was done to every single player on Rogue in the meantime, though. So as long as they can still hold on to the site, this does not mean that Rogue has stolen this round yet.
Ooh, and look at this now from Hiko. The lurk of Hiko towards that connector. He's going to be able to pick up Dallas now, or Connor, and we're down to a 1-on-4. What an eco round here from the Rogue side to get themselves back into this.
So many traps that Ghost just ended up walking right into as well. Big mistakes in this round by Ghost have basically handed the round to Rogue on a silver platter. Seb's going to look for his clutch. He's still in the site too. Oh, I would have wished he played it passively and waited for them to push back in, but that would have been a very chaotic situation to try and handle. So you can't fault him for peeking this. Now, the predictable response from Rogue, it's going to be the fallback, go down connector, but Seb realizes that this is the case, so he's going to try to beat him to the punch. And I don't think he's going to make it there. And no, they took a monster route, so he's actually going to be able to get out if he wants to peek this. He can.
Very interesting from Seb. He's still actually playing a retake scenario on this site, so as soon as he does open up, maybe spot a player or get spotted, they know exactly where he is.
They instantly headshots Hiko. He knows there's going to be one behind the safe plant box here. Still has one to deal with construction too, and this is a wide peek. He's taking the risk on it, and he ends up walking right into the up, which secures the kill for Cadian and gives them a nice eco round win to try and spring them back into this game, because Ghost economy is not in the best spot right now. Remember, the last gun round they won, they only won it with one player left alive. So their money is going to be in a tight spot here. In fact, they don't even really... Oh, no, they do decide to go for the force spot. Just most players can't afford an actual rifle. They're going to end up on a majority of CZs, and only Wardell gets the op.
Yeah, and if I was Seb in that situation, actually, instead of playing that, you know, the graffiti area retake, I would have actually made the attempt to jump out the window, maybe get into the pit, because in that sense, you're more anchored in the site. If you do get a frag, you're closer to the T's to pick up, you know, your second and third one. Unfortunately, he does get a first frag, but he's so far away that it gives the T's a very good amount of time to play that post-plant passive scenario and get out of his face.
Well, Rogue are going to hold for now because they know how aggressive Ghost has been. And you would imagine that to multiply on one of these eco rounds here. But not looking like we'll see anything pushing into the current positions that Rogue are holding. So Rogue will have an easy walk up long A. As we've seen already in quite a few rounds, there's actually been very little A long presence from the CTs in general in this half. So this is why Rogue has been so favorite. so preferential in pushing towards this part of the map.
Once again, Rogue with this bathroom control, making that presence towards the long now and just clearing out bathroom methodically as Vice opens up the round now on Connor towards that connector area.
Still one player inside of that connector that can cause issues, but we haven't even seen these guys clear out the connector area yet, so the CTs are going to be able to do a little bit of damage here. There's Dallas sneaking one out from the side, and they don't know about Seb behind Dicebox yet either. The element of surprise is a strong one when you have a CZ in your hand. Nice little bait kill coming out. Dallas loses his teammate on the site, yes, but he is able to secure the kill on Hiko. And now one remains, and he doesn't stay that way for very long. Wardell no-scopes him, taking him out, and giving the round back to Ghost.
No scope wall banging.
Yeah.
Great shot by Wardell to give Ghost their 7th round now, and we do see the pause come out. And as far as I'm concerned, this is Rogue pausing the match and taking attack right now because Ghost Gaming is just running away with this match, just almost like it was on the second half of Cobble.
They have a massive lead right now, and this is just after Rogue won a full-out eco round too. So Ghost did the same thing, obviously with a little bit more firepower, back at Rogue, which does leave Rogue with a bit of cash flow here. It's just very spread out. It's like 1.5K, 6K, 3K, 1.9K, 6K again. And it looks like they decide to force it though. Cadian and Vice, those are the two guys that had the larger amounts of cash. They're able to afford rifles and an op in the case of Cadian, but for everyone else, it's just CZs.
Rogue really love to force buy. That's what I've noticed from these two map series.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a time and place, I feel like, but unfortunately when you're not able to even keep up with guns, I don't think downgrading to pistols and force buying is the best option here.
It's been a lot of eco upsets. So for now, it's not too crazy of a thing to keep doing.
Oh no.
Cadian, it's a good thing he got out of there. Almost losing his life. And
forcing
look at this, look at this. He's gonna move in.
God.
He had it with a nade out too. He had that kill. Just flicks a little bit too much and moves too quickly, so it destabilizes the shot, causing him to miss. The rest of Rogue now going to go in. Now they have some idea about where the CTs are positioned, but okay, no, they cancel it. They had flashes and everything going in. Everybody was about to push forward. They decided against it. Finally, though, Cadian gets that kill, knocking out not one, but 2 and 3 players. Nicely done on the execute from Rogue. They get right into the site, and there's no choice left for B and Wardell. They're forced back. I don't even think they're going to attempt this now. It is force buy win after force buy win after force buy win. Pretty sure this is the 3rd one in a row that's been successful.
Yeah, it's astounding to see that Rogue is doing so well with their pistols, honestly. I feel like at this point, I mean, they just got to keep that fast play, that bursty play up, because that seems to be what's working for them. More so than just taking that slow, methodical play where Ghost is getting those easy entry kills.
Now Wardell and B are completely out of the sight now. Already prepped up to save. Even with the damage done, it's not worth it to be able to go in and attempt a 2v5 retake. For players like Hiko, they're going to attempt to hunt down these guns, but sadly, no dice. As B knocks out Hiko there, just killing one more player from Rogue. But that was a free gun for Hiko, so that doesn't mind that too much. You can easily rebuy that going into this next round here. And Ghost, you got another choice to make. Do you force again and keep this process going, or do you put the brakes on it and bring some normality back to this game? Looks like they've gone with the later option.
Yeah.
As we're only seeing a P250 buy-ups.
And I mean, they have an op on the field, so if Wardell can get that op going very early into the round, maybe get 1 or 2 kills here, even get his teammate a gun, they could turn this round around and win this eco round very easily.
Ooh, look at B. He's got himself a good angle. He's the one with the AK too, but Shinobi, great reaction to take him down and drop one of the only 2 big guns that Ghost had to play with here. Now they've dealt with that, they're going to go right back to their standard. Push out long.
Nice
oh,
shot.
not before Wardell peeks in though. Takes down one of them. I think he saw the second too. He's looking for it. That player's going to back away and get out of here, though. He can still cause trouble, even from inside of the connector, though, as he's going to completely destabilize any chance of Rogue going for short control, which means it funnels this hit into 1 or 2 real avenues. The bad news for Ghost, though, is the player that's defending the exit to that avenue only has a P250.
Look at this flank, though, coming in right now. Around from that T-spawn, and this could be very scary if Rogue don't pick up the pace here. We also have Wardell in the connector with an op.
they're trying to pinch them, and they have the right idea about it, too. Dallas holding up in the corner. Dinks him, brings him down to 17 HP. The rest of the team's going to follow through, but there's the surprise! Wardell coming out through the connector, takes out Shinobi. The problem is that's going to cause an immediate alert for everyone on Rogue to watch their backs. So while yes, they did retrieve the AK, and Seb's going to start using that, so does Wardell close up. No trades from Rogue, and all of a sudden, Hiko's left to clutch. But it is Hiko, and if anyone on Rogue could do it, leave it to him to do it the best. Ghost have actually completely frozen, expecting for Hiko to do something aggressive, but he's plastered down behind Semi right now, and they have to go in and hunt him down. He gets this massive lineup too, but sadly that second player closer to him really just acts as a distraction to let Wardell line up the shot, take him down, and secure another, not even a force buy this time, just an eco with 2 rifles saved to execute another eco upset.
Yeah, a beautiful 4K from Wardell there, and Ghost Gaming upsetting Rogue on that round. That is a tremendous round to win now, and look at the money on Rogue. If Ghost Gaming can also string together this round, well, they're primed to finish out this half, 11-4.
And I'm sure Ghost is fine with these just trading rounds back and forth over and over again, because it still works in their favor. They're keeping the same lead, it's just the score is getting progressed slowly. As long as they can continue to do that, they can continue to hold on to some control of this matchup. We're getting close to the end of the half, though. It's go time for Rogue to get back into this. Keep the scoreline close before they get into the second half. And Canadian, that's a deep molly, so he is going to end up eating a whole lot of damage from the fire. Will go down to about 2/3 of his HP. And the CTs will even look for a chance to kill him, too. Wardell's got watch if anyone goes through the connector doorway. This big boost up on top. But they don't have anyone watching for construction, though, which is making this boost a bit dangerous. Thankfully, it's short-lived, and they'll change position. And that one construction player that's still left inside Uber, with only a CZ, he doesn't really have the capability to push it on his own. Although he could get some kills if the CTs move out.
Once again, Rogue with that long control, getting that early entry kill as Connor now pushes that short B with his teammate to take down Uber.
This out Vice on his own, and that's the bomb down now too. If the CTs push Monster, or if they even just look out of Monster, they might be able to see that bomb and realize what's happening. Because right now, Rogue were ready. They were primed to execute into A. It only came to the realization the bomb was dropped. Thankfully for them though, Ghost did not make an aggressive push out Monster, so they're not going to realize that the bomb went down.
No, and even then, for them to actually catch that bomb, that is a huge route right now.
Just the time is the issue, though, as the observers thankfully just pointed out first. They're basically just going to have to rush into B right now. One player goes down to act as a distraction. They've got the one CT defender here on the B side. He's in pit. He's going to see it coming, though. They've got Heaven presence, too. They force the issue, get the plant. But they're fine, yes, in getting the plant. But the problem is, all right, now how do you win the round? As it's just Hiko left out in the open in a 1v3, and he immediately falls when the pit player pushes.
Yeah, time wasn't an issue there. It was going into that 2v3 scenario and losing your teammate while you were planting. That basically let the CTs know, all right, last guy's in sight. He's an easy frag. Let's push up on him. Let's make sure he's not getting out of the sight. And that's where Ghost Gaming gets their 9th round. Had that second player had stayed alive, we might have seen a little bit more passive play from Ghost. They might have taken a little bit more time, and maybe that allows Hiko to get 1 or 2 frags.
So half-buy territory right now for Rogue. Actually, no, they forced again. I thought they were half-buying when I saw the pistol armor, and then the nade showed up on me, surprising me there. So Rogue do buy out again as the force buy streak continues, even though Ghost kind of just ended it with that last win. Rogue still have some money, so let's get rid of it. And they're going to go right into water and probably right through into B, too, once they've got everybody positioned and ready to execute. Might just wait for this Smoke It Monster to fade so that player can push through while not having any vision. Both still have a decent 3-man presence established here. They have their 2 A players pushing out the long, too. But they're going to have to come back down in the second. Connor, messy spray. He gets taken down. Got Seb for support, but now Pitt's been overwhelmed. Seb is just completely in the open right. Yeah, you can't fault him for not getting the kill there. So he's dealing with every single player pushing him at once. And Rogue have made the force work again. See, Beat is eating a flashbang when he tries to push back into the site. But he's going to keep doing that just all on his own. Wardell's up here in heaven watching for an A flank right now. And with his teammate dead, he knows he's going to have to look for the save. So Rogue somehow make it work again. And they'll go up to 5 rounds here.
I just don't understand how Rogue keep winning with these pistols.
I don't get it either.
I mean, essentially, you'd think that at this point, Ghost Gaming able to shut down these guns very easily. They're going to be able to read these pistol buys and just play a passive setup, play more of that retake setup on CZs instead of playing close up and giving those CZs a chance to frag them. Fortunately, Ghost has done that a few times now, and that's really what's given Rogue their only rounds here.
So Wardell saves the op. No way are Rogue going to go hunting given their current situation. But at least Wardell keeps that buy going. With that, they should be able to put up a pretty half-decent buy here. Expect at least 3 rifles to come onto the board, maybe more depending on how they're able to squeeze the money out. But Rogue will be at full strength.
And we do have attack pause, I believe, coming in from Ghost Gaming, just trying to figure out how they want to win this round with this low utility buy. If you look at what they have on the field, I mean, Seb, he's got the M4, Wardell, Connor, CZ, Famis on Dallas, so they're doing all right, but in regards to how they're going to win this round, I feel like Rogue, they gotta learn how to stop Rogue's bursty fast play that's just been working for Rogue on this T side.
We're into the round, and like I said before, it's not an amazing buy from Ghost, but they squeeze out as much as they can. There's still an off on the ground too. Another rifle there that got picked up as well.
It's not a bad buy, like I was saying.
Yeah. So it ends up being pretty decent at the end of the day. But they still have to stop Rogue here now. If they let them get the rifles back, that's a good way to do it, though. Wardell gets the party push. They don't even know about B yet either. I don't think they're really checking towards Fountain. And they're just going to peek out right, which lets B go free here.
Ooh,
B.
and then the long peeks.
Oh, man, they have a beautiful setup to be able to stop all this pressure. The only good thing that's happened so far, Vice killed one of the few B defenders. So B seems to be the only site that works for Rogue for some reason here on this T side. Every time they've gone A, it's just been an absolute massacre. But right now, they've gotten into B. They've secured it for the plant. But it's the opposite situation of what we were used to having, where it's Rogue that has the clean entry on B, and Ghost left with only 2 players to retake. Now Ghost have 4 to retake with. Bad part, though, is that most of them are going to be coming out just CT main. Vice just takes a direct challenge on that. This does mean the construction player is going to have a much easier job, though, to sneak back in, especially with Vice going down. Uber holds the corner, gets 1 kill, but then goes down afterwards, which is going to secure a 10th round for Ghost. That means our halftime scoreline is going to be 10-5. Ghost will take the lead again here on the second map. And with only 1 map needed to push them back into Pro League, they're very, very close to their goal. Stick with us, guys, to find out if they can achieve it right after the break.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, the City of Odense, GeForce GTX, Lenovo Legion, Bedway, Pay Safeguard, Logitech G, Mountain Dew League, Xfinity, and ESEA.
Bringing it back to you guys, once again, Ghost in a strong position to reclaim their Pro League slot. Already having taken control of the previous map back on Cobblestone, and even here on Overpass, which was Rogue's map pick, they lead by 5 rounds going into the second half.
Just a tremendous half from Ghost Gaming. We saw them pulling off round after round. Tremendous efforts from not only B, but also Wardell on those two sides there. As you're going to see, Wardell sitting at 13-4, finishing up his first half. Great effort from Wardell.
B, of course, having a pretty good effort himself, too. Pretty much the whole team showing up, I think, throughout the course of that first half in some way, shape, or form. But it's going to be Cadian and Shinobi that show up to start off the pistol. They've got a 2-man team that crunches most of the offense, and Cadian's going to continue to crunch some more heads as he takes the one off of Dallas and Wardell before finally going down. And Connor doesn't last very long either.
And what a round there from Rogue. Great display of teamwork as they push through that short B, as well as pushing through the connector, pinching on the Ghost Gaming players coming up that short. Right here, you're going to see Cadian now with his teammate. This is exactly what they needed to do here. Great effort from Rogue with, once again, that aggressive bursty play to get them the round.
We do end up in a bit of a pause, so we'll resume things in a moment here. I'm not sure if that was a tac pause or tech pause, so try to see in a second. Yeah, let's get the headset off there too, so I don't want to talk too much, but let's get that back on now. So just a moment, and then we will be able to resume. I see players talking, so I'm going to assume it is a tactical pause. Of course, it is a bit early for that. It was a technical pause, excuse me. So
Actually, a technical pause here.
these players shouldn't be talking. Slap them on the wrist right now.
Yeah, a little taboo there, boys.
Yeah, but like I said, usually pretty quick fix so far, so don't expect it to be super long. And then we can jump back into the game as Ghost. Well, they might have to look for another one of those force buy upsets, because we've been seeing a lot of those. I think a majority of the rounds were won off of some type of force or eco round upset back in the last half compared to actual gun rounds. I think we saw less of those than we did force buy wins. So last round got a little bit crazy. And we'll see if that'll be the case again as Ghost does force buy into the second round. Opening up, not really a whole lot of control being taken by them. Just watching from the top tunnels to make sure that we don't see a fountain push from the CTs. Sometimes you'll see the scout or an SMG even push out from here in order to try and cut off the attempts to cross the playground. But Rogue aren't that adventurous, and we saw that become a pattern even back on Cobblestone too. They played a very, very passive CT side, and they're doing a pretty similar thing here, sticking to the sites for the most part. The only real exception is Cadian going to the bathrooms, but even that is not a huge extension given how far you can push from the A site if you'd like to.
And this is very interesting play from Ghost Gaming. I mean, we see the passive play coming in from Rogue, but Ghost actually hasn't. There's a minute left in the round, and they're just starting to take that fountain control now. So not only do they have very little control with only 50 seconds left, well, we have Rogue already posted in the passive setup waiting for them.
Ghosts are just going to end up funneling down into short, actually. But the good news is, like I said, there's no CT presence to watch for this. So they're only going to spot it either when they hear it or when they see this push coming towards the site. Don't see any signs of rotates. Like I said, no one really pushing out from the B site to try and check monster or water to make sure there's no presence there. So it is all quiet, but Ghost have wasted pretty much all of their time in leading up to this, so they only have 20 seconds to take a platform control and actually get the bomb planted, which could prove to be an issue, especially now that an additional player is rotating back up in. They're going to go. They execute with 12 seconds left, and it ends up working in their favor. They buy enough room to get the bomb down, and they end up, for now at least, with a man advantage, and it's going to stay that way. Seb pushes the bank steps where Shinobi was waiting and still gets the kill, which that's impressive on its own, and that's a pretty big misstep by Rogue to just let that happen. Now Uber and Hiko are going to move back in, attempt to pull off the 2v4 retake. Granted, a majority of their opponents are still on pistols, so this is going to work. But Wardell shuts them both down and clutches 1v2 to steal the round away for Ghost.
What effort by Wardell there to pick off the last 2 remaining Rogue members, pick his team up on that eco round.
Let's see that from Wardell's perspective one more time.
That was great.
Take a look at this. Nice shot way to the back of bank on that first one. And the quick flick, quick reaction to take down, I think it was Hiko was the last player there. Very, very well done indeed. Wardell, again, continuing to dominate there. Is in the lead, but like I said, not by much. It's very much been a team effort from Ghost in this game so far. Pretty much all of them, again, doing the same thing that we saw in the previous round, especially now that they have the man advantage. They're not too keen on moving in and taking massive control across the map just yet. They're going to sit back, make sure Rogue don't go for a fountain or long push, and then probably start to take a little bit of control. Of course, this game would look somewhat alien to us as well if we didn't see Rogue forcing up, so that's no surprise to see that in response. And given the track record, there's a good chance that they could somehow pull this off. But realistically speaking here, like you can see, if Ghosts keep with this A push, granted they will get the early warning from whoever's sitting at short A. I think it's Hiko. But if he goes down before spotting it, then there is not going to be anywhere near enough time to pull 4 players from the B site and somehow try to mount the defense, especially with only CZs across all 5 players. I think it's actually Cadian, if I read the number correctly. Sorry, the number's a little small on my screen. So.
Yeah, and a lot of pressure has been created towards that A side, and it's very interesting that Rogue is... Okay, now they are starting to rotate their players over to back up Hiko on that A site. Or sorry, Cadian.
Yeah, it is Cadian.
Apologies.
It's okay. The 8 and the 0 are hard to tell apart, so... Cadian, okay, he's doing a lot of work, and now Vice comes in for the assist too. It's worked out exactly how Rogue needed it to. They hold off with the line. Ghost, not out of it just yet though, but they are very low on time to find the plant, and they just dropped the bomb, but that's not even gonna matter on the timer, because Rogue have moved in to shut it down. And like I said, going by the track record, they should have won that, and that's exactly what they do. Beautiful job by Cadian and the other A-site defenders.
Yeah, I really like Cadian here around the bathroom. Not only is he delaying and getting frags, but he also allows Vice to now get involved when he moves inside the bathroom and creates a little bit more space for Vice to peek. Great effort there from Cadian.
Force buy again, which, yeah, I mean, thanks for bringing it up. I mean, you can just see, look at how back and forth things have been going here for both of these teams. It's the same once again. And barely anyone even surviving these rounds to begin with. Almost every single round is ending with about 3 or less players alive, either that or an entire enemy team still standing. So
I'd like to point out though that Cadian is having a great game once again, sitting on 20 frags going into the CT side. He's been playing very well throughout this entire tournament. Highly underrated player in my opinion.
Especially when he comes to NA a lot of the time, we often see him shine his best.
Most Europeans shine in NA.
Yeah, I mean,
let's be real.
Sad but unfortunate truth.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Well, we've got Ghost looking to go for just a straightforward monster execute, lining up the smokes now. Ready to go. Wardell just looking at those clouds right now. It's actually a very nice skybox on this map compared to some of the others. But in Ghost will go, trying to clear things out. And actually completely blinding for the most part Rogue due to the very nice smoke setup here. They can't see anything over the top of it, so they're going to have to take risks in order to get kills. 1-for-1 trade in the case of Uber. Vice as well, kind of stuck in pit right now, so we can't do anything from down below here because of that smoke wall. So good at least on Ghost to get that. The problem is once these smokes are gone, okay, they actually have to fight now. And they're going to do that in even trades. Cadian moving in, trying to put some credit back onto the CT side, but it will not happen.
What is Shinobi doing all the way over here?
Yeah, I want to say he was going to flank, but then decided not to at the last second.
Yeah, I feel like he was in that short B, the connector area, and then he just got caught, had to fall his way out, and the rest of his team died on the way there. So now Shinobi has to opt to save. He has no choice here, and Ghost Gaming picking up an eco round.
Another force buy win. We need a true counter on how many times that's happened. I think it's a safe number at around 7 or 8 now is what I'm going to guess.
4 rounds away from maintaining their Pro League spot.
Yep.
It's down to the wire here.
And Rogue are going to take a tack pause now as well because, again, we are at this point where, okay, do we keep this ridiculous back and forth going?
Yeah.
Or do we actually save? Because that's been a rare sight, is an actual save.
Now, if you're actually looking at the frags on Rogue, we see Cadian sitting at 21 and 14. The next closest player on his team only has 13 frags.
Wow.
So unfortunately right now, I feel like this is a one-man show for Rogue.
Cadian's kind of the hard carry.
Yeah, Cadian's kind of the one showing up right now. Cadian's doing all the heavy lifting. But look at Ghost Gaming. The kill disparity, I mean, 2 kills is what separates the highest score and the lowest score. Everybody on Ghost is putting in a tremendous effort to move these guys forward.
And it is true, a lot of the stars from Rogue, sadly, that were present yesterday. We were seeing Uber at these great sight holds on CT side. You know, a lot of other benefits too. Shinobi doing some good work with his op. We haven't really seen any of that within this map so far. It really has been the Cadian show, which has saved them in a lot of these 4-spot rounds. So they still have to look for a way to bring this back. And they do decide to force buy, of course, going into this round. We'd be surprised if they didn't. But sadly, they don't have their defenses in the right spot. Ghost are able to get a nice explosion out onto the B-bomb site. And while Vice has saved his life for now, the B-bomb site is very much under the control of Ghost. It's going to be a big task for Rogue to get back into this site, but anything is possible with the way this map has gone. Sadly, though, it's looking tough for Rogue to actually find a way to forge themselves back into this site over here. Now there's just a few players left, and actually it's looking like they're backing away now. Not even going to make an attempt at it anymore, since they've lost just too many players.
Yeah.
Cadian holding that position inside of the cubby, just to try and catch anyone on exit. And besides that, Ghost take a clean sweep on this round, which means they're going up to 13-7.
3 rounds away from that pro spot. It's getting closer. It's getting closer here, John, as Ghost is mounting round after round. It feels like the momentum may even be swinging in their favor here, as Rogue is kind of slowing down in regards to fragging now.
All right, so same choice. I know I've been saying this over and over again, but it is a very key part of this match so far. And that Rogue, they've kind of pushed the envelope so far in the 4 spies. Do they keep pushing it now? And finally they decide to save. They actually did have saved weapons this time from the previous round too, so this would have been the one where you normally would justify it the most. But like I said, this chaotic back and forth has been going on for too long, so they are going to call for a save here and just try to win it off of those saved guns, which that is how Ghost won one of these rounds before. Ghost only had saved weapons and decided to save and just default pistols besides that, and they still managed to win the round. So don't count Rogue out here just yet. Very quiet start though, and this is with aggressive positioning from Rogue.
Look at Cadian now, though. He hears all this rotation.
But he's going to call that to his teammates. We can already see the reaction from the A-long players. They're falling back to the site, getting ready to rotate down towards B. No way they wouldn't be going B with how many footsteps Cadian probably heard. They've only kept, I think it's Connor, to lurk inside of the connector and eventually swing out. And that's where Cadian's going to come into play, because he can really jump behind these guys and make it a tough job for them. As they move in, though, 2 clean entries. Not a good start for Rogue. Hiko, though, can try to bring it back as he picks up 2 kills at least. But at the end of the day, only Cadian left. This flank would have been great if there were still 2 or more players left from Rogue to come in with him and try to pinch the site, cause some chaos. But with him alone, it's just not going to happen. Ghosts take another round and are 2 away from keeping their Pro League spot.
Yeah, and even with this buy coming in on Rogue, we do see low utility in their hands right now, as we don't really see too many Molotovs. Yeah, they have the smoke grenades, that's fine, but the Molotovs that are crucial towards that late round that only Hiko has, well, Rogue is missing them all, and on top of that, they don't have an op to battle back against Wardell.
At least it is full buy finally from Rogue. All rifles, so their best chance yet to try and stop Ghost from jetting ahead up to 16 rounds. 4 right now, however, again, everything has gone very quiet. And while Rogue have moved out, gotten good intel again too, and Ghost isn't even going to realize it until it's too late. They've moved all the way to water, haven't seen a thing, and Shinobi has picked off 1. That will sound the alarms for sure, and should pull up at least 1 or 2 of these players. But actually, the guys in water might actually just chill in their position right now and then decide to push up the connector once we start seeing an execute from Ghost. That will probably depend, though, on if they can pick off 1 more CT before they go into the... Ooh, they should have heard that little bounce right there. Which, if they're paying attention, they'd be able to tell that was Shinobi. Thankfully, Shinobi realizes that too and decides to back away from the situation.
Oh my gosh.
Did they catch some boosting?
Yeah, they were boosted, but Dallas just peeked it. Great job by Dallas there.
So good spot from Dallas. And Rogue, who had good positioning to try and stop this, seems like they overplayed their hand a bit with the aggression from them. Just giving too many kills now over towards Ghost. And with Ghost having this much of an advantage, they're going to feel safe to go for the execute and just have Dallas watch the flank. Doesn't even look like there's really anyone from Rogue in the site, so the actual site take is going to be very easy to accomplish. You have 1 player at Heaven, that's it. The other 2 has gone down, thinking it's going to be a B hit. So it is a straightforward walk-in play from Ghost to take control and find their plant. And they again do this with very minimal time left as well. 10 seconds were left when they finally started to walk in and take control of that site, and they'll plant it with even less time. Rogue know it's not going to happen. They know they can't retake it, so they immediately call for the save. And that's going to put Ghost up to 15.
I'd like to see Ghost maybe go for those guns now and start to hunt, because the money on Rogue isn't good enough. So if they're actually able to drop some guns at this point, Rogue are worse off going into next round than they were if they were to save these guns. So this would be tremendous for the Ghost Gaming lineup to just hunt down these Rogue players right now.
The real dangerous part, too, is with so many of these saves consistently being called, you can see it's not completely out of control just yet, but players like Dallas are backing up a lot of money. And even if Rogue start to win these rounds here, it's going to take a bit to break that down. Dallas moves in. Oh, he doesn't check the extremities, though, so he just immediately goes down to Vice. And with that, they'll be able to hold on to those rifles at least.
And now with that happening, Ghost Gaming 1 round away.
Oh, yeah, he did see it.
Their EPL relegation spot. This is great. You'd love to see this from Ghost Gaming. It looked like it would be almost a Rogue game going into that first map because of the momentum.
So let's see if Ghost can close it out here. Rogue with the saves, as you mentioned, at least gives them a fighting chance going into the 23rd round. But overall, this is still going to prove to be a very, very tough fight for Rogue to be able to save this, as now they need to win 8 rounds straight in order to take it to OT and to potentially still take this to map 3.
Great execute
claim
here.
their
Look at that.
Pro League slot now. Ghost have gone in, though. They've swept around the corner. The CTs, for the most part, have avoided the molly damage, but as they go in, they're just getting absolutely executed by Seb. 2 quick kills for him. The remaining teammates can't do anything. They're either not here or completely smoked off still. So beautiful job by Ghost to, again, get control over the B site and execute here. Normally, they would have called for a save on this, as they've made a pattern of doing for the past 5 rounds now, but they can't do that anymore. They have to get back in, and they're no longer experiencing this. They're no longer rehearsed in getting back into this site. Connor's already taken down one of the 2 remaining players, does it again at Heaven, and the 3rd falls as well. So a flawless round from Ghost to close it all out as they take control. 16-7 here on map number 2, and with that 2-0 victory, they've done it. They've held on to their EPL slot and will be a part of the next season.
Yeah.
I can't hear anything.
That was quite the game there from the Ghost side. Wow. I can't believe it. 16-7. What a confident win going into Overpass.
Yeah, absolutely. And a very convincing one at that, too. We're not going to waste any time, though. Let's send it down to the analysts to break this series down. Stunna, take it away.
Wow, thank you very much, Blue. For my name is Stunna, and it's not to be confused with Bach, for there are no matching words or letters between our names. Either way, Ghost Gaming securing yet another season in the ESL Pro League, and Rogue still have a chance, but it's a long path for them.
It's a long path. It's an extra BO3, and it's versus another team that's like almost as good as Ghost, and Ghost had like pretty handed victory over them. So I think their odds are a lot lower.
Yeah, it's not ideal. It's not the situation you want to be in.
I'm so sorry, Jason.
It's okay.
I'm so sorry.
He's got one more chance. We'll get there.
One more slim chance.
They have some real issues. Some of those anti-eco rounds is like performance that would make John G puke.
And there you have it. We've dropped that bombshell live in the Mixer NYC studio. That's right, the flagship Microsoft store in New York. And if you're just joining us, I want to tell you about competing in weekly PC gaming tournaments in the ROG Arena at Microsoft stores around you. That's right. Go to Microsoft.com/ROG Arena.
No, but I mean, that was I made that a little bit of a joke, but they really did have massive anti-force spy issues. I think they won the last 3 pistol rounds and lost the ensuing second rounds in all 3 of them. So, I mean, you just can't, like, you're getting out to good starts in these halves and you're not being able to build any momentum. You're not able to keep your opponent's economy low. You're just kind of allowing it to reset. Now, on Overpass, they did kind of trade it back and forth for 3 or 4 rounds. But, yeah. I mean, still, you're just not allowing yourself to build any momentum into the game whatsoever.
I mean, we saw some streaks of explosiveness as well, too. I mean, right? We saw Cadian come to life here within Overpass. Ultimately, you know, it's not enough, but you could still say, okay, well, these guys came out here, they tried to give it that much. Will they have enough gas going into the next BO3? That, I think, is got to be the biggest question, at least on my mind.
Yeah, it's got to be exhausting just playing for your life, like, in both matches too. You know, it's not just like any match, because they do this one, they're in the clear, So they're playing just as hard as they will next time, and they're going to play these matches basically back-to-back. I guess they're lucky it wasn't 3 maps. Well, at least it wasn't a slow death.
Yeah, there's one silver lining, I guess.
At least it wasn't a slow death. And I quote Launders when I say that. At least it was not a slow death.
He's a glass half full kind of guy.
Yeah,
My
or
glass
just
is
put the
very
glass on the
full.
table, and we'll figure it out from there. Yeah, nonetheless, it's not over for Rogue by any stretch. They have to come back a little bit revitalized. They will get just a little bit of a break there. But Ghost Gaming, they've done it.
Yeah, and I mentioned in the pregame that I hadn't really been able to watch any Ghost games in recent
Well, now
times.
you have another season of chances.
Yeah, now I have a whole new season of chances. But no, that was good stuff. I mean, I thought they played, well enough to stay in Pro League and not get relegated down.
Thank God you thought that. Otherwise, we'd have to relegate.
Guys, we talk about relegations, and I think it's important that we illustrate this to the audience by taking a look at the brackets to show just how this one unfolded thus far. Ghost Gaming, as you can see, have moved on, or should I say remain in the ESL Pro League, and where we will now see Rogue and Rise Nation fight out for the last spot in a best-of-3 here shortly. But we do have an interview with Blue and a special guest from Ghost, and that's going to be B. So let's just go ahead and pass it over to them. How about now? Now sounds like a pretty good time.
Smooth.
All right, thank you very much, Stunna. I'm here with B from Ghost. Hey, how's it going? We just managed to reclaim their Pro League slot. Let's get some immediate feelings. How are things feeling in the Ghost camp now that you guys saved the slot?
Man, it's been a long time, since we've won matches like these, It's been a hard road ever since Pro League, but I'm happy that we came out here and, made it back into Pro League.
Now, the panel was favoring Rogue, actually. Did you guys feel coming into this matchup that you guys were going to be at a slight disadvantage, or did you feel confident in your team's ability to perform and take this match and obviously reclaim your slot?
I mean, honestly, man, for the past 2-3 weeks, we've been just grinding like crazy. So, I mean, we had a lot of confidence going in here. I think everyone can see, what we're made of now after we put in the time and effort. And, I mean, we just kind of rolled through there, no problem,
I want to talk about Wardell as well, because he actually apparently was on Rogue earlier in the season and then ended up coming over to you guys. So how did he end up fitting into the roster after jumping off that previous roster on Rogue?
Well, when we first signed with Ghost, we were BMC, and Wardell was already playing with us. So, I mean, he fit in perfectly. We went through some, rough patches, and after we got through that, he came back on board. I mean, we went through a lot of roster changes, and it's not particularly his fault. So it's like, it was a really rough season for us because we had so many roster changes and we never had a right 5. And I'm back from coaching and, but I mean, he's back and he's good. I mean, we're all good to go.
Just to ask you guys as well about this, because this was obviously a very interesting round, the Wardell round where our time ran out and he ended up peaking anyway. What exactly happened there?
I think it was a lot of comms kind of just mushed together, and he didn't know what everyone was saying, and he thought that we said that he had it, but he kind of just jumped out there, and it was just kind of like a big, oh, this, that, and he just kind of got confused and jumped out there and gave him the round. So
I'm assuming there was an attempt to stop it, right? And then everything just got mixed up.
We were screaming at him to not go out there, but I mean, it's over with. So I mean, it's whatever.
All right. So now with you guys having reclaimed your Pro League slot, saving that, what are the plans for the future for Ghost?
I'm gonna retire for good. So I'm done playing. Thanks to all the fans who supported me and everything. Yeah, I mean, we got to rebuild the roster and, hopefully have someone fit in for me and just grind, and hopefully we don't get relegated next season, So that's our goal right now, so.
Well, it was good that you were able to come back at least one last time to be able to save your team's Pro League slot, of course, and we're going to look for you helping out the team as they look to carry forward into the next season of Pro League. Thank you very much for your time, though. We're going to let you guys go and celebrate, and we're also going to throw it to a break, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, we have one final match to decide who our last NA Pro League team is. Stick with us, and we'll be back in just a bit with that.